video, probably be a quick one, but just talking about mental health and my mental health and how I cope and deal with things. So basically, I have anxiety, I have panic attacks and agoraphobia. Now the anxiety and panic attacks come from a situation that happened a couple of years ago, and people who know me will know what that's about. But to cut a long story short, I was involved in quite a serious incident, which the knock-on effect was this anxiety and this panic attacks. Now, I learned different ways to deal with them as they got harder, and it's come to a point where I couldn't deal with it, and I basically just went to the doctors and said, look, I feel weird, I don't feel myself. When I go out, I can't. It just, something in my body tells me I can't do this. I have all these overwhelming feelings, blah, blah, blah. And he basically said, yeah, you've got anxiety, and he gave me this medication. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember taking it and it just didn't feel right. I felt weird, I kept feeling like worse. It just kept bringing on more panic attacks, so I told him in the end I'm going to stop taking it. And he said, okay, well we can try therapy. So I said, all right then, and I was on this waiting list for a place, and I never got round to it, so I ended up getting my own therapist, and that was going all right. Like, the therapy was helping, kind of, but it was more just being constantly told what you've got. Like, you've got anxiety, you've got panic attacks, like you have to deal with this. They're not, like, it wasn't as such as, okay, let's understand it and let's help you like deal with it. It's more just telling you constantly every time I see you, this is what you've got, this is what you've got. And I didn't feel like that helped, although she did like teach me a couple of techniques, and I do still use them, but I just feel like therapy for me wasn't what I needed. So I took matters into my own hands, and I've like researched, I googled, I kept asking questions like, why am I this, why do I do that? And in the end I've just come up with my own techniques, my own coping mechanisms, and how I deal with things. And part of that is why I got into magic, because I do my magic as a distraction for what's going on in my head, and I can take a break from the anxiety and the panic by doing this magic, and that's why I post it and upload it online. So I found that is a coping technique, so I use that all the time just to make me feel okay, and it's worked, and it's actually made me feel better, because I haven't actually left the house now for about a year and a half. I mean, I go out for like 10-15 minutes, but only in the evening when I feel comfortable doing it, and that's still something I've got to work on. I've got to push myself to do that, but everything just takes time, and I'm still learning how to deal with it myself, and getting help from other people and talking about it is one of the best ways, I think. I don't really speak about it too much, because I feel like the more I talk about it, the more it plays in my head, and then the worse I feel, so I tend to shut it off and use my own techniques to keep it away and try and be my normal self, and that does work. But I think it is best to talk about things like this, like any mental health problems, whether it's anxiety, depression, panic attacks, anything, you name it. Just talk about it to someone, because someone's going to listen, and someone's going to make a change for you and help you. And if you're feeling like you haven't got that help and you haven't got no one to talk to, you just find someone, talk to your family members, talk to friends, go online and research these mental health places like Mind and Calm. They'll help you. There'll be different resources on there that you can get, like therapy, you can get all the help, you can talk to people on there, you can phone them up, you can email them, you can do what you want, wherever you feel comfortable. It's all available for you, but you just got to speak out. And I find that speaking out to this, like the camera now, and telling everyone behind it how I feel will make someone else do it. And if that happens and someone else feels that they can talk about it, then that's brilliant, because it's made me feel like they're not alone, as I felt that I was alone before. And obviously feeling alone and having mental health is just not two things that go well together. So by having your friends and your family around to support you, it really does help. Now, all these techniques and stuff that I've learned, and like through dealing with it myself, I'm happy to talk to anyone about anything that they're suffering with, or if they just want to chat because they feel like they've got no one to speak to about anything, then I'm more than happy. My messages are always open, you can just speak to me whenever you like. And yeah, basically that's it. I'll just do my best to help everyone I can. If anyone wants to ask me more questions about how I deal with things, or what agoraphobia is, like the fear of going out, and they want me to explain more in detail about that and how I deal with it, then just message me and I'll try my best to explain it to you. But if you're struggling, just reach out. That's the main thing. So I feel like once you've reached out and you spoke to someone about things, it becomes a lot easier. It's like a weight lifted off your shoulder as such, because now people know what you're dealing with. They can understand it more, like, oh, so and so didn't turn up for work today, or such and such just stayed in their bedroom all day. They understand it now, they understand why you're doing that, and then they're more likely to help you rather than just say, oh, get over it, or come on, what are you doing this for? If they know what's going on with you, then they're more understanding, so it's less pressure on you to feel like you're letting people down or to feel like you're the problem. Because that's the main thing with mental health, is you feel like you're the problem when it's the problem in your head that you can't help. So once people understand that, and people talk, like you talk to people about that, then things become a lot more easier, because you know, like, oh, if I have the day off work or if I stay in my bed all day, it's not because you can't do it, it's because the mental health is just too much that day, and you just need time to get back to your normal self and recover. And it's all about time and taking things slowly and just doing the best you can. If you get up one day and you can't do it, just do the best you can do, because at least you've done more than what you would have done if you'd have just stayed in bed and let it beat you, or if you'd have just sat there all day and let it beat you. You've done something. And it's little goals. If you set little goals and hit little targets, you'll soon start to feel better, and you'll soon start to hit big targets. That's what I've noticed with my struggles, like with going out and not leaving the house. I noticed that if I push myself and do go out one evening, I feel great about that. And also another thing I found is doing exercise, because being sat at home for nearly a year and a half now, not doing exercise, not going out and actually getting fresh air and getting exercise, it does take your toll on your body and your mental health. And exercising, I feel, for me, is a way of releasing that, and it actually makes me feel good. So the more it makes me feel good, the more I want to do it, because I feel like that's more of a relief for my anxiety and my panic attacks. And it seems to have gotten a lot better recently with starting to do exercise, starting to push myself to go out a little bit. But it's just all about taking that step and talking. Once you've taken that step and you've spoke to people and you've pushed yourself out there, things will start to look up and things will get better eventually. It just takes time. So for anyone who is struggling today or any day, just give me a message and I'm happy to talk to you.